All right, in this lesson, let's go ahead and take a quick look at adding a walk cycle. And we're going to actually start with, this is acting as a button, but it's actually created as a movie clip. And when we click it, it brings on our walk cycle. So let's kind of see how there's a possibility of doing it this way, although this is not the only way to do it. It's just one way to do it. And for the first thing we will do, and this is actually should be in our week 13 folder, and this will be under version 3 start. Okay, and within this file, and this is actually the master version 4 toggle button added file that this is in. And let's start and go into the library, and we'll look at the walk. And you can see it's 3. I did a keyframe every 2 frames. So here is our first frame, and then I would do a keyframe on the 4th frame and the 6th frame. And you can see each one has, so there's 3 frames of him walking. You can also see those right here. And so after we create that, you can run that. We'll play that on, and you can see that that's the walk. And then after we get done creating that, we would create that as a movie clip, which would be under insert new symbol, and we would do movie clip, and then you name it walk, and then OK. And that would create our walk, and then we would go back on our stage, and we would have our bomb button graphic. I dragged that in, and that probably would be, this would be on our main stage, and then this would be created as a movie clip, and then we could go into our movie clip, and this is where we would create our little scene that we wanted to create. So once again, this is our scene 1, and then we go into the bomb button. And let's bring this back a little bit. Get a little too much. Zoom in a little bit. So after we have our inside of our button, that's when we would take our walk and add it here. And then that is when I created a motion tween. There's actually 2 tweens. So there's one here moving towards the bomb, and then him turning around and going the other way. Oops. And you'll see that it's not really walking. You actually have to do a test to see that. But you see here he does walk. You can see that here too. Well, this is not a repeating cycle, but it does repeat. Okay. So you can kind of see a little bit how that works. Now normally when you do that, this will actually just keep on playing over and over and over again when you test it. So then we have to actually, that's when we actually go in and create our ActionScript. Let me see if I can show you that. Yeah, let's take out our ActionScript real quick and do a test. So you see he'll just keep on going back and forth, back and forth. So I think if you go into your version 3 code, should be under 4 walk, stopping, and playing movie clip, and this is the code we want, so we can copy and paste that. So copy, and go into our file, and then go into our ActionScript, and I'm sorry, make sure you're in your timeline, make sure you're in your movie clip, and then we'll go to our first frame in our ActionScript. And then we would paste it there. Oops, sorry. Okay, and so we have that, and now we added our ActionScript, and the ActionScript, this is what will stop him from going back and forth all the time. So that stops it, and then we add a click event, which we call blow up, and that will be a function that when you click it, then it'll play the event, and so you have a false, which doesn't start it, and then when it starts it. Okay, so let's go back into our scene 1, and we'll do a return control test. And click on our button, and see whenever we click it, then it should work. And start our movie clip, or our motion tween that we created. And that's the end of this lesson.